Hello, Game of Thrones, Episode 3, Season 8. Only just doing it because poor old Maddie's had to be on pause until we all got back from Cornwall.
Yeah.
The Cornwall vlogs are still going out, but this review, we watched it late last night, Game of Thrones, Episode 3, and boy, was there a lot of chatter.
A madness.
It was a madness. It was a crazy, mad-ass army fest war type thing. Now, the directors or the producers of this said that they were looking to films like The Two Towers, Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers for inspiration, which, when I first heard that, although I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, I found the battle scenes in The Lord of the Rings a little bit CGI-y.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and they're very complicated battles. But so on the one hand, I was kind of excited because I wanted the range, depth, and vastness of the Lord of the Rings battles. Then another part of me got a bit concerned that I thought...
It was going to be too CGI.
Yeah, too CGI, and I thought, don't get too obsessed. You know, obviously we love geekdom because we're geeks, but don't lose the personal stories.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Otherwise you don't care about a good battle. But I thought they did a really good job right at the beginning, didn't you?
They really did.
The slow tension.
Yeah, so quiet.
So quiet. We had that really long shot. Do you remember? I thought they were going to try for the longest shot in the history of all opening shots, but they didn't. It stopped as Dinklage walked off. But, you know, that's it. No one was talking. I thought that was quite real. I think if I was...
Yeah, it was. That's what it would be like before you were going to before you were going to go into a massive battle.
Yeah. I mean, what would you have to say to each other when you're facing inevitable death?
Yeah.
I mean, what would you say? Really. I mean, it's like someone said, we're facing death. And they were, I mean, literally and metaphorically and emotionally. So I thought they did a good job of, they got us prepped for the battle and we were seeing all of the key characters being part. So we saw Jon and Daenerys, so we knew that they'd had, how had that been left at the end of episode 2? They were all...
because episode 2 finished with the start of the battle, about them, they're about to go into battle.
Well, with Jon and Daenerys...
But he had just told Daenerys,
that's right.
And we didn't know if she was funny with him or not.
Yeah, well, we don't know really if Daenerys is funny about a lot. Like with Stanza, we don't know if she's funny... Stanza. I called her Santa in my notes. It was spelling check. So, you know, I thought they did a good job of quietly reminding us again of everyone who was there.
Yeah.
But it was very quiet. It was very moody. I don't think there was much music at the beginning. And we were all just waiting.
And it was really tense.
I almost found it more tense than the battle that was coming.
Yeah,
Do you think they could have taken it any further?
What, the silence?
The waiting? Could they have stretched it?
They could have, but I think by that point it would have been like...
Yeah, there'd have been
fight now.
Yeah, there'd have been Game of Thrones junkies itching for the... Did you, before we get we'll talk about the battle in a minute, but did you feel at all going into this that it was a little bit... Here's my worry from what I'd seen in the trailers, that it was going to get a little bit game console-y.
Right.
Do you know what I mean in terms of the the animation of the White Walkers, the dragons? I was a little bit concerned it was going to get a bit...
Really?
You know, like those interludes you get on PS4 games?
Yeah, the bits that you have to watch.
Yeah.
I didn't actually...
You weren't worried about that?
No, I wasn't.
No. Okay,
I didn't...
so first of all, they're all standing down there, and what's the first development in the battle?
Oh my God.
It was so good, wasn't it?
Well, the Red Woman approaches them
The Red
first.
Witch.
Because I'd just been asking where she'd gone.
You had, hadn't you?
Yeah.
And hadn't she been banished? Or
she'd been banished.
Self-banished herself?
Yeah. Well, she was banished to go and tell somebody to kill her.
That's right, yeah.
Why would you do that?
I tell you what, though, if I sent myself off to tell someone to kill me, I think I might not.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? I just hang out on an outcrop on a mountain somewhere.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, that's right. So the first thing we saw was her just coming out of the dark.
Yeah, and we didn't know who it was.
Didn't know who it was.
It was scary.
That was good.
And she approaches them, and she basically, with her witchy powers, sets fire to all of the...
Yeah, all of their swords and sort of...
All their swords.
What are those swords called that are round? So when you pull someone's head off.
Yeah.
I want one.
They're really cool.
They're really cool. Yeah, she did, didn't she? She sort of anointed like a religious
Well, she set
person.
fire to one and then it went...
I like that moment.
They all lit up, yeah.
And you could see them on the battlements thinking, yeah, they got flame swords.
Think of that?
Yeah, exactly. Why did they just douse them all in... You know who she reminds me of a bit? The Red Witch. She reminds me a little bit of Elizabeth Olsen in Marvel. She's like an older version of Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, she's a bit...
Do you know what I mean? Very pretty. Very
She's
pretty.
Stunning.
Isn't she?
So that happens. That's the first part of the fight. And then there's a lot more standing around. Ian Glenn looking very concerned.
He does good concern.
Yes, he does.
I think his face. I could almost just look at his face when he's concerned for days.
Okay.
That's sort of no, but he's got that age. I love the fact that he's older than everyone else.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And he's in it for so long as well.
And he's
all the other old
fit.
people have died.
It's an anti-ageist part, and he's not interested in sex. He's not interested in anything other than
Why did you say sex? Sex sounds just like saying sex.
True. Yeah, he's not interested in sex. You know, he's devoted to Daenerys in a truly devotional way. I love him.
Moving on.
Moving on. Sorry, I've got a bit of an obsession. Yeah, so he was looking on. Yeah.
So then he and what do you call those people? The ones that Daenerys was with first. What are they called?
Yeah, who are they? They're sort of Daenerys' crowd. The chap, the young, smooth-headed chap who's having the romance with the curly-headed girl.
Oh, I didn't mean that one.
Oh.
I mean the one, you know, when she was married to Aquaman.
Oh yeah, all
Those
of that
people,
lot. The Targaryens.
Targaryens, that's
Targaryens.
it. So Ian Glenn and the Targaryens.
That's right.
Basically just full on go for it.
With all their swords on fire.
With all their swords on fire.
This was a very clever moment.
And they just head straight into
Darkness.
them. And we can't see anything. And we basically see it was a really quick shot of them clashing with the dead. But you see them kind of stuff go on top of them and you're like, what is that? And then it just basically goes to what the POV of everybody back at Winterfell. And you just really, really slowly and quietly see all of their fire swords go out.
I know,
so then you're like, oh my God, have they just killed all of them?
They've just overwhelmed them.
Yeah, and then it's really silent for ages.
Yeah.
And then you start seeing horses and then a few of the people...
Stragglers.
Kind of running back, but they're completely silent, including Ian Glenn.
It's really weird, wasn't it?
I found really weird. Like, why wouldn't they be like...
Screaming.
But I think
they're coming.
It was really clever because it was like the shock. I don't think he would.
It's very true, actually. That was
he
very
looked
authentic.
In shock, Ian Glenn.
Yeah, they all just looked at each other because I wondered whether they were coming back dead.
I thought that, but then he would have just killed all of them.
Yeah, exactly. No, that was very powerful.
Yeah, and then they still just stood there for ages, really silent. So you're just like, what the hell is going to happen?
This isn't looking good.
No. At all.
Everyone was on the battlements going, shit, we've just lost that lot.
Yeah.
I was thinking this is going to be game over in 10 minutes. They're going to shot this.
They really needed the Targaryen.
You're damn right.
They're mental.
Yeah, and they shot for 55 days. I was thinking this takes 2 days to get to this point.
Yeah.
Where's the 55 days? And then Dragonhead comes in, doesn't he?
Well, no. The dragon comes in later.
I thought he pulled into fire. I thought the dragons were pulled into fire.
No.
Oh.
So the first thing that happens is that basically you start hearing the dead like before you start seeing them.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, this is so not good.
Oh, that's right.
And then you see some and it looks like they're just running towards them, but then they fold over each other like this wave because they all crawl over each other.
The top.
And it just goes on top of all of them. And then you're like, Jesus Christ. And then there's a lot of fighting with characters we love and them. And then Daenerys and Jon Snow come out and start setting fire to all of them from above.
That's right. They're like zombies from The Walking Dead on cocaine.
Yeah, basically.
They're like the Train to Busan zombies, these dead.
Yeah.
Or they're very temperamental, or they just stand completely still.
Oh, I hate that. That scares me
I hate it when
more.
they do that. I hate it when they do that.
It's really horrible.
So was it at this point that Sam's friend, you know, the guy that's been in it for quite a while, gets it in the head?
He does.
Doesn't he? Gets it through the...
It's a bit of a shock. He's been in it for
He's
quite
been
some
in it for
time.
quite... Now, I quite like the way what they did in this episode. They started to sort of pick off some of our familiars, didn't they? They didn't pick off necessarily our favourites, but they picked off, they started to trim at the edges.
Yeah.
It's like a haircut. It's like taking these curly bits off before getting to the actual sort of grade
Important
1 razor.
ones.
Yeah, before going... So he went, and then we had this sort of prolonged sort of... Well, also, we mustn't forget, down in the basement, would you want to be in the crypt?
No, I wouldn't. I've got something... I find it really scary being underground when something's happening above, because if that thing comes down, then you've got nowhere to go.
You've got nowhere to go, other than maybe more underground, if you've got a tunnel.
That's possible.
But there might not be a tunnel.
Exactly.
And also this episode made sense of when, was it Daenerys who said the dead are already here?
You thought that it meant more than what it did.
I did think it meant more than what it did, but I was kind of not far wrong. Anyway, so Sam's friend dies. Sansa goes into the crypt with Dinklage. Sort of an unlikely fellowship between Dinklage and Sansa in this episode.
Yeah, because I always thought that they were going to get along because, you know, when they married.
Yeah.
But then there was that ice mist that hit all of them first.
Oh, yeah.
So that Daenerys and Jon Snow couldn't see anything when they're dragons.
Oh, God, that was weird. What did you think of that?
Yeah, I thought that was good because obviously winter's following them, isn't it?
Of course it is. Winter's coming.
Winter's
come.
Winter's here.
Winter's here. Yeah, I found that I really struggled to see anything.
I think you were supposed to.
Yeah, no, I know. But I tell you, the only frustration I slightly had with all the dragon stuff, the dragon fight.
Because I couldn't tell who was who.
No, so I mean, it's not that I get that in the fog of war, as they literally say, you can't quite see what's going on in a battle. But I wanted some orientation around the dragons. Did you feel that, guys? I kind of wanted to know which dragon was on top, which wasn't, which.
Yeah,
which...
at moments I could have done with clearer dragon identity.
Clearer dragon. I wanted clearer dragon ID. I wish you would hold it. Show me. Okay, clear to go. Yeah, no, that was all good. Really, right. Part 2. So we've put. What's his name? Bran.
I always want to say Brad, but it's Bran.
What the hell is going on with him?
Bran is so annoying.
Still, I don't really get it.
It's just that he
was used as bait. He was placed by the tree.
Yeah,
so
because
that
he thought he knew that the Night King wanted him.
Why does it? Did you not feel that? Not that we're jumping the gun a bit here, but do you not think there's a bit of a connection there that is a bit darker?
I thought it was a bit suspicious.
Did you not?
I thought it was a bit suspicious. Yeah, with the Night King and Bran.
Yeah. Is there some connection there, guys? Is Bran's ability to make his eyeballs go white and look like, I don't know if you think this, they look like boiled eggs in his eye sockets, don't they? They look like 2 boiled eggs have just been shoved in there. Anyway, he annoys the pants off of me, and yet I kind of want to think he's cool.
Also, whenever he does the whole, looking through a crow's eye, doesn't seem to change much. Because then he never tells anyone.
Well, we never see where the crows go.
He never tells anybody.
That's very true.
Like he could have come back and told Alfie a bit of
help, steerage.
Update.
Yeah, it's like if these 3-eyed crows are their version of drones, why isn't any of the intel getting back?
Why isn't he updating anyone?
Yeah, I agree. Also,
update. The dead are here.
Yeah, and there's a lot more than you think they are. And you're going to need more arrows than you've got in that quiver.
Yeah.
I have to say, I thought Alfie Allen did a bloody good job.
Wow, Alfie Allen stepped up to
He grew some balls and he grew a doodah.
With his non-doodahness.
With his non-doodahness, he managed to turn his arrows into the equivalent of a doodah, a fast-firing doodah.
Oh my God. No.
He fired so many arrows that he just didn't know what was going on. I thought he was supremely brilliant.
Yeah, he was sick. Because he's been a coward for quite some time.
Absolutely. So then we had the trench situation. So we've got Alfie Allen with Bran Stark. We've got the crypt. Now we've got George Lucas's classic 3 different narrative situations playing out.
Yeah.
You've got the battlefront. You've got
you've also got Arya Stark.
You've got Arya Stark. Arya. How do you pronounce her name? Arya?
I don't think you pronounce the R.
Arya
Arya
Stark.
Stark.
Anyway, she bloody well got some shit going, didn't she? She's handy with a spear.
Yeah.
Did you see her? She took out about 20 dirty, horrible dead men. She was very good. She was very good.
Mental.
The Red Witch, finally, after a lot of, I thought it was a bit like she was in the Boy Scouts trying to get the fire going. Do you remember?
Yeah.
She was trying to, because basically what happens is she gets the trench lit.
Well, no, basically, all of the dead are kind of, by this point, all of their army that was protecting them from getting into the castle is now dead. So there's the only thing protecting the castle are the trenches.
Yeah.
And because they're dead, they can kind of get through the trenches whilst being stabbed.
That's
the only way that they can't get past is if it's set fire.
Yeah.
And
Red Witch.
because Daenerys is in the sky and she can't see because of
distracted.
the fog. No, because of the fog, she can't see the signal to set fire to the trenches.
I love that. It was quite sort of airplane-y, wasn't it? Don't go to the right, take it to the left.
Yeah.
She can't see my signals.
So they get the red woman down to set fire to the
Red
trenches.
Bitch down. I mean Red Witch.
set fire to the trenches. And you're kind of worried she takes a while and then
It takes a long time.
Thing's coming towards her.
And then she does it.
And she finally does it.
She does it. And then that stops
things. It's so eerie.
Yeah.
Because they just stand there behind the fire just looking at them.
That's one of the most effective things. That's what I love about the menace of the dead in this, is that you go completely to the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Rather than them at this point still being...
Yeah.
They're quite the opposite.
Because you know that there's that scary thing about zombies that they persist and they never stop.
Yeah.
But it seems to be scarier that when they persist, when they go for it, they fully go for it. Yeah. But they can also just stand there silently and look at you like,
yeah,
I'm gonna get you.
They have filthy. I'm gonna get you. They don't even look at you like they're gonna get you. They look at you like one day you'll be got. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not even worried about when that day is. I just know it's coming. That's what they're looking at. They're standing there looking at you like that. It's like boxers before a fight, but just one of them saying nothing. It's horrible. So, Brown heads off as crows. He does his eggy, boiled egg eyeballs. Yeah, I'm going to go now.
He goes, I'm going to go now.
That's
exactly. And Alfie's like, where?
Yeah, Alfie, where are you going? And he flies off and we see nothing of his bloody drones. But Night King bastard does something with his soldiers, doesn't he? He raises his hand.
Oh no, that's a while after.
Oh, was that a while after?
You've skipped quite a bit.
Oh, have I? I thought they'd get over the battlements, no?
No.
The dead fall.
There's the whole dragon fight first.
Oh, I didn't like the dragon fight. And I thought they looked stupid on the back of the dragons.
They did a bit
I thought it was ridiculous. Yeah, I just thought it was. I thought that's the weakest part of the effects department team. Sorry.
No, I think the dragons look good, but it was just that fight scene was confusing.
Yeah.
Because you're going to put mist on top of it, and then you're going to get 3 dragons that look really similar.
Yeah.
The only way I could tell when it was different was that dead dragon was white.
Yeah.
But basically,
what have I missed?
The dead dragon dies and falls.
Yeah.
And so does. Well, Jon Snow's dragon falls, but don't really know what happened to it. I think it died. I'm just going to assume
it's really odd.
Died.
Yeah, we assume it's dead. Is it dead?
Yeah, and then Jon Snow kind of gets up and starts walking towards the Night King.
Yeah.
And the Night King's got his back to him, and you're like, does he know? Is he going to do this?
Yeah.
And then the Night King turns around and has a really scary face.
Yeah.
And kind of looks at Jon Snow, smiling, doesn't he?
Yes.
And Jon Snow thinks he's got it. He's like, okay, I'm going to speed up a bit now because I feel like something's going to happen.
Yeah, and he's moving.
And then the Night King just starts going like this. And then you're like, shit! Because not only is everybody that was already on his team coming back to life, but everybody that was for Winterfell starts coming alive as well.
Such a great tactic for increasing your ranks.
And all of the characters that, like that little girl there's the little girl in it.
Yeah, the little girl who kills a giant.
Who kills the giant, but she comes back as well.
Yeah, and also this friend of Sam. He comes back.
They all come back.
All the familiar faces start to come back. It's a bit like The Walking Dead at that point when all your favourite characters come back. And that happens, and then Jon Snow somehow manages to get out. Well, I thought that whole scene was totally unbelievable because there was no way he was going to escape that, given the circumstances. I thought there were some situations where they'd almost rushed too many dead around key characters too quickly, so that the believability element of them getting out of some of those funky situations wasn't quite
that's my
true.
problem with quite a lot of like films and series.
Yeah,
it's like when important characters survive this long.
Yeah.
It's like, everybody else has already died, so how the hell are you the only ones that...
And they've died in easier circumstances, but you're surviving ludicrously. You're facing now, Jon Snow, the entire army of the dead outside the battlements, outside of Winterfell, not on your dragon.
And I get it if they're like really good swordsmen, but like sometimes when they're fighting with just normal humans, they're struggling.
I agree.
It's just kind of like... But the only part that I didn't find believable was Jon Snow stuck in that massive field of dead and somehow managed to get out of the situation.
Yeah, I agree.
He did.
No, you're right.
I'm glad.
And then old Night King does this great thing where he goes, right, dead people, just pile up in one corner of the trench.
Oh yeah.
Just keep piling up. So you put the fire out and then just charge over the top.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so sort of almost undramatic in how practical it was. It was like, look, all you need to do is just wedge a load of dead bodies in the place and just charge over them. And they were like, you saw them all go in their own little dead heads. They go, oh yeah, right, okay.
Yeah, we'll go for it.
And the ones at the front, I thought, imagine being the dead ones at the front going, oh, I want to get trodden on.
Oh, what do I feel like?
Yeah, what do I feel like a bridge? Anyway, I thought that was very effective. And then, of course, they scarp up the battlements. And then the battle really, really commences. It was very Lord of the Rings. And we saw Arya, killing all sorts of things. And
I think that happened before.
That did happen before, but she carries on killing people, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does.
Oh no! And then at the beginning of part 3, I thought was one of the strongest scenes in the entire episode. I'm out of breath. Was Arya in the library?
Oh, that was scary.
I thought that was a really good scene.
Yeah, 'cause she had to be really quiet, didn't she?
Really quiet, and you had all this kind of dropping things under the tables. I thought we saw a sort of creepier side to the dead. Why were they all in the library? Why were they all looking for books? Do you know what I mean? I mean, they all seem quite sedate. They look quite studious.
No, I think that they'd just gone into that room, and because it was silent, they were quiet because they were waiting to hear something.
Oh, and of course, when he rises the dead, what's happened in the crypt?
Oh my God, yeah. So because he's raised his arms and all the dead come back to life dead. All of the dead people in the crypt come back to life.
Hands come out. It's like Michael Jackson's Thriller.
It's like
don't mention his name. Sorry, a bit early. But it's like dead people coming out, and suddenly all your safe people in the crypt, and you're thinking, well, that's it.
Women and children, yeah.
Dinklage and Sansa have had it.
Yeah, so that would have been horrible. I wouldn't have wanted to be in the crypt.
I was a bit worried. I thought they were going to kill Dinklage at certain points in there. Did you?
Yeah, there was that moment where Sansa and Dinklage were sitting next to each other, and they looked a bit like...
Yeah. I agree. So the Night King... so I keep jumping around here. So the Night King keeps ploughing on. They try and kill the Night King with fire. They don't succeed because he's just standing there going, fire does nothing to me, man. He looks so smug, didn't he?
He really
It's like
did.
all that fire from that dragon who's just like, ping! I'm still here.
Fed me more power.
Yeah, I'm still here and I'm still cold. I still think the Night King could have been Daenerys' dad. Do you think? Or maybe not.
Maybe he still is. We don't know.
Maybe he still is. Anyway, so we've got the dead coming up in the crypt. We've got battles happening everywhere. We've got the guy from Fortitude and Scarface, who's looked after Arya, has a bit of a moment, doesn't he? He sort of shits himself.
Yeah, because he's scared of fire.
He's a bit crap sometimes. I love him when he's speaking shit and nastiness to people, but then he just sort of stands there going, it's a bit of fire.
What's he called? The Hound.
Is that what he's called?
Yeah, they always call him the Hound.
I mean, after everything he's been through, with a little bit of fire.
That's because he's scared because he got burnt as a baby.
I know, but he's so sort of macho in so many other ways. He's getting a bit of fire, come on. And then he sees Arya flying all over the place,
That was so much earlier, Dad.
Was it?
That was...
Oh, sorry.
So much
I'm
earlier.
trying... bits are coming to me like it's like Flashback City. Part 4 was just a dramatic fest of just top fest trops. Jon Snow trapped, didn't believe it.
No, I didn't because
That was
I don't
it.
see how
Didn't believe it.
Well, no, but I believe when it first happened, I was like, he's going to die.
Yeah.
But then he got out, and then I was like, no.
What about Daenerys' dragon being overwhelmed by lots of little horrible things?
Oh yeah, that was.
It reminded me.
I felt sorry for the dragon.
I felt sorry for the dragon a lot. Yeah, she fell off. But again, what happened to the dragon? It sort of went off, and he didn't really get any resolution.
Came back later.
He did come back later, so we know there's one dragon alive.
Yeah.
And lots of little dead things going. I thought they reminded me of Gulliver's Travels. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Dead in the crypt, dragon over. Ian Glenn.
Oh,
Ian Glenn.
He comes and saves her, and she does nothing to help him.
She's just standing there going, oh, help me. Suddenly she can't do anything. I thought that was a bit weak. I thought we needed to see some supreme battle action from Daenerys.
She was pathetic with the
sword. So she only she just spit over her.
She was pathetic with the sword.
She was rubbish with the sword.
You're supposed to be the queen of the 7 realms. You've got to be good with the sword.
You're only any good when you're on the back of a great big dragon firing turbonuclear fire.
Yeah, now you've only got
people.
one dragon left. What are you going to do when you've got 0?
Exactly, with your great big eyeballs.
What's that going to do?
They're just great big eyeballs. I mean, she could stare at people and go, hey.
She is beautiful.
She is stunning. So Ian Glenn, fighting. Alfie Allen, where's my knob? Like that. Music was mad, wasn't it? It suddenly changed into this...
Yeah. The music video.
The music video became mental. And it turned into this really elegiac, emotional... tender. I knew we were building to horribleness.
And I knew just like people were going to start dying, and then I was like...
Jamie looked vulnerable.
Jamie and...
His White Knight lady, she looked like Gwendolyn. She looked vulnerable.
Yeah, they really did.
The guy from Fortitude with the patch, he went.
He died.
The Hound, he looked vulnerable. Everyone looked vulnerable. Dinklage and Sansa had a moment behind a tomb where they held hands, and you thought this was going to be their Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid moment. Yeah, they're going to step out and die. They had a moment. And then Ian Glenn dies. Takes one in the chest.
He dies after the dead die.
Sorry, I've just jumped and spoilt it.
So Alfie Allen, has been defending Bran this whole time. He's run out of arrows. He's fought to the end.
He's hitting them with his bow in the end, isn't he? He's just using the bow bit.
Yeah. And we basically see he turns around, God. Alfie, bless him, and there's all the dead standing behind him.
Basically.
Including all the top
top brass. It's like Theresa May's cabinet have all turned up.
Yeah.
And they're standing
all
there going...
Conservatives.
Yeah, what are you going to do about it, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go on.
Boris Johnson.
Go on.
Yeah, go on it, if you think you're old enough. At that point, Alfie Allen looked as pathetic as Jeremy Corbyn in a pair of swimming trunks.
I just said you don't... Wait. I just said you don't agree with Brexit.
So yeah, he was on his own. He was literally on his own.
Yeah.
And he ran. I thought he did a sterling job of running.
He had that moment, didn't he, where he looked really scared.
Oh.
He turned over to Bran. And Bran only just decides to come back from wherever he's been. And he was like, thank you, Alfie.
Yeah.
No, not Alfie. Thank you.
Whatever his name is.
You're a good man.
It's like, could you give me a bit more than that as I'm about to throw myself in, on a spear of the dead?
It's pathetic.
What is Bran's beef? Can someone explain to us
What's the beef, Bran?
What is his problem? Why is he just sat there doing this shit? Not really know. I hope it all becomes clear. Anyway.
We said at one point he was like, I'm not Bran anymore.
Oh, God, well, who are you? Bloody... Anyway, so Alfie takes it, basically.
And Alfie basically runs at, we so knew that it was not going to happen.
Yeah.
But he gave it a try and he ran at the dead knight.
Yeah, Night King.
Night King and
That's that. He's gone.
It's reversed on him.
I felt really sad about that. And again,
I felt really sad because he'd been a bit of a coward and a bit of a twat for a really long time.
I never realised...
And then he came out of himself at the very end.
And what a massive narrative arc he had. I mean, I knew Alfie Allen was a thing in this, but I never realised he was such a significant thing. He's a big character. Well, he's gone. He's probably the biggest character to go. And then... Do we then have... No, the Night King... And then we have Ian Glenn is struggling and dying because he's taken a mortal wound to his chest and Daenerys is sobbing like a right old idiot.
He's struggling.
Gibbering.
And then, basically, the Night King is, walking towards Bran. You're like, what's going on here? Bran looks pretty chill with it.
Yeah, but there was a look between Bran and the Night King which makes me think Bran isn't all we think
I
he is.
thought Bran looked a little bit scared as well, to be fair.
Did he? I thought he looked suspicious.
I
thought they looked like they were connected.
Well, he was like this. He was staring at the tree and then he went... Yeah. That's about as much emotion as showed in one.
But didn't you think the Night King had a sort of smirk of knowledge on his face? He was like, you know and I know something.
But then he went to go and get his sword and I was like, was he going to kill him?
Yeah, he's pulling
And then he's not as important as he thinks he is.
Was he going to knight him?
Oh.
I think Bran is probably the big killer. I think, if you think about it, Bran was thrown out of a tower. I think he died. I don't think he's alive. I think he's dead.
He have blue eyes, though.
But maybe he just does the boiled egg thing.
No, because there were other people that could do that. There was what's his face.
Oh yeah, there was, wasn't there? Yeah, the guy in the tree.
Wildlings.
Oh yeah, the guy on the tree as well. Okay, well.
So basically, Night King's walking towards Bran. You're like, what is gonna happen? This can't be good. This cannot be good. What is gonna happen? Nothing can save us from this situation.
No.
What's gonna happen? And
nothing did.
Arya Stark comes flying over all the dead.
I know, she sort of like leapfrogged over the entire Conservative cabinet.
Like flew at the Night King. He grabbed her by the neck and you're like, oh my God, he's going to kill Arya Stark. And she's got a knife like this and she basically drops it, catches it with another hand and stabs him in the torso.
And he shatters them to millions of shards of glass.
And then so do all of them.
And they all go.
Like, holy shit, she did it.
Yeah, and I was
a woman did it.
A woman did it. A small woman did it. They're all shattering like mad everywhere. Ian Glenn passes away. The Red Witch walks off into the middle distance.
That's the very, very end.
Yeah, no, I know, but the Red Witch then walks up. But we're left thinking, what the bloody hell?
Yeah. There's how many more?
3 more episodes to go.
What is going to happen now?
Not a sign of Cersei. You know what I thought all the way through this was Cersei was going to ride to the rescue at some point.
Yeah, you kept saying that.
I thought she was going to surprise us. So clearly, this series is going to take a narrative turn towards the familial struggle of Jaime, Dinklage, and Cersei and Sansa. So it's all going to turn inwards, isn't it?
Yeah.
We thought the biggest enemy was going to be the dead, but somehow they've managed to conquer the dead.
Yeah, unless they haven't. And there's still maybe there's more leaders.
I haven't seen any more leaders, though, have we?
I never know.
What do you think, guys? Where are we going with this series? We want to know.
Because the poster for GOT was the Night King standing on a pile of skulls and Cersei's and Jon Snow's sword was it? And sword and crown was
He's going to come back. They're going to come back. I think they're going to come back. Yeah.
Something's got to happen.
So tell us, what do you think?
I tell you what, people died.
Yeah.
But not as many as I thought would die.
No, because I think they're all going to be killing each other in the next 3 weeks. Don't forget, we've got Robson and Jerome guys is out to kill Dinklage and Jamie. Got all sorts of stuff going on. I think it's going to become more character driven.
Yeah.
And not as, I think we all thought we were going to get battle for the last 3 episodes, but in fact that's the battle done. And now we're going to have really nuanced, really stressful, top drawer acting.
Yeah.
Which I'm looking forward to.
Me too.
Let's watch the tease for episode 4. We might get some clues.
Ah!